Have you ever wondered why suffering seems to be an inherent part of human existence? It's a question that has puzzled philosophers, scientists, and thinkers throughout the ages. Why does pain, sorrow, and hardship seem to be woven into the very fabric of our lives? Consider this. Every human being, regardless of their wealth, status, or background, encounters some form of suffering. It's as universal as breathing and as inevitable as the setting sun. But what if this isn't just a cruel twist of fate? What if it's part of a larger, more sinister design? Imagine for a moment that our suffering isn't pointless, that it serves a purpose we're not aware of, that our tears, our heartbreaks, our trials are not just random occurrences, but part of a grand cosmic plan. A plan that perhaps benefits someone or something other than ourselves. Could it be possible that mankind was created to feed on our energy of suffering? This idea may sound like a plot from a science fiction movie, but some believe in it wholeheartedly. Imagine, if you will, a universe where humanity is not the result of evolution or divine creation, but rather, a deliberate act of a higher power. Now the twist in the tale is this. We were not brought into existence out of love, benevolence, or for companionship. Instead, we were created to be a source, a reservoir of something quite peculiar, our energy of suffering. The theory suggests that these higher beings, these entities, feed on the energy we emit when we experience pain, sorrow, fear, and despair. These emotions, these sensations, are nothing but energy at their core, and it is this energy that these entities are said to thrive on. Like a farmer tending to his crops, these entities supposedly cultivate humanity, not for our physical bodies, but for the energy we exude. Our emotions, our suffering, our pain, they are the harvest. We are in essence an energy farm. Our lives, according to this theory, are a cycle of trials and tribulations, an endless roller coaster of highs and lows, joys and sorrows. And it's not a result of mere chance or fate, but a carefully orchestrated scenario designed to maximize the energy output. These higher powers, these entities, they don't intervene directly. They don't cause our suffering. No, they simply created a system, a world where suffering is inevitable. They set the stage and then sit back watching the drama unfold, reaping the energy we emit. But why suffering? Why not joy or love? Well, the theory suggests that negative emotions such as fear and sorrow are more potent, more intense. They create a stronger energy output, making them a more desirable source of nourishment for these entities. A shocking idea, isn't it? But let's delve deeper. Many ancient texts and religious scriptures hint at the existence of beings who feed on human emotions. Have you ever delved into the ancient Sumerian texts? They speak of the Anunnaki, deities who were said to have created humans to mine gold for them. Now, while the literal interpretation points towards physical labor, could this not be a metaphor for emotional energy? An intriguing notion, isn't it? Then we have the Hindu scriptures, the Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna speaks of the universal soul that feeds on the energy of all living beings. This could be interpreted as a reference to entities that thrive on our emotional output. Let's not forget the Gnostic texts, where the concept of archons, non-physical beings who feed on human energy, is widely discussed. The Gnostics believed that these entities influenced human behavior to create emotions they could feed on. Even in Buddhism, there are references to hungry ghosts or preta, who are trapped in a state of insatiable hunger and thirst for human experiences and emotions. The Zoroastrian texts of ancient Persia talk about devas, destructive spirits who mislead humans and feed on their despair. In the Bible, Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12, it says, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." A veiled reference to beings that feed on human suffering, perhaps? These examples from various cultures and times all seem to hint at the same chilling possibility. Could they all be talking about the same thing? Are these ancient texts suggesting that mankind was created or manipulated to generate an energy source for other beings? This is not to say these interpretations are definitive. They are, after all, interpretations. But it does make one wonder, if these are mere coincidences, they are certainly intriguing ones. So, does this imply that our ancestors were aware of this energy harvesting? Science, on the other hand, offers a different perspective. Rather than viewing humans as energy sources for unseen entities, it provides a more grounded explanation for our experiences of suffering and emotional turmoil. Firstly, let's consider the biological aspect. Emotions, including those associated with suffering, are essentially chemical reactions occurring in our brains. When we feel pain or distress, it's because certain neurotransmitters are being released, triggering specific responses. If we were created to generate energy through suffering, wouldn't it make more sense for these reactions to produce some sort of tangible, measurable energy? Yet no such energy has been identified by scientists. Moreover, evolution provides us with a compelling reason for the existence of suffering. From a survival perspective, experiencing pain or distress can be beneficial. It alerts us to potential dangers, encouraging us to avoid harmful situations. It's a survival mechanism, not an energy production line. However, let's not dismiss the theory entirely. There's a branch of science called quantum physics that deals with the smallest particles in the universe. It suggests that everything, including our emotions, is energy at its most basic level. Could this energy be what the theory refers to? That's unclear. Quantum physics is still in its infancy, and there's much we don't understand about the nature of energy and consciousness. In addition, some scientists are exploring the idea of panpsychism, the belief that all matter, including humans, possesses consciousness. If this is true, could our suffering influence the consciousness of the universe at large? Again, this is speculative and far from proven, so where does this leave us? Well, science doesn't provide solid evidence to back up the theory that we were created to feed on our energy of suffering, but it also doesn't completely debunk it. There are areas of science that hint at the possibility, but they are filled with uncertainties and unknowns. While science might not fully support this theory, it doesn't entirely disprove it either. Now, let's explore why this theory is popular among conspiracy theorists. Firstly, it's important to understand the appeal of conspiracy theories in general. People are drawn to them because they offer alternative explanations to mainstream narratives, often providing a sense of certainty in an uncertain world. What's more, they often lay the blame for society's ills at the feet of secret, powerful forces, which can be a comforting thought for those feeling powerless or marginalized. Now consider the theory that mankind was created to feed on our energy of suffering. This idea is a grand narrative that explains not just one event or phenomenon, but the very nature of human existence. It proposes that our lives are not just random or meaningless, but part of a grand cosmic scheme. This is a powerful draw for many conspiracy theorists who crave an overarching explanation for the world's mysteries. Moreover, this theory fits neatly into larger conspiracy narratives. It's common in conspiracy thinking to believe that powerful, hidden entities are manipulating events for their own benefit. In this case, those entities are not just shadowy cabals or governments, but cosmic beings feeding off human suffering. This elevates the stakes and the scale of the conspiracy, making it even more compelling. Additionally, this theory also offers a form of validation. If you're suffering, it's not because of your own failings or random chance, but because you're a victim of a grand cosmic conspiracy. This can provide a sense of relief and absolution, further increasing the theory's appeal. Finally, like many conspiracy theories, this idea is unfalsifiable. There's no definitive way to prove or disprove it, making it impossible to conclusively debunk. This allows believers to maintain their faith in the theory, regardless of any counter-evidence or arguments. As with many conspiracy theories, the intrigue lies in the unanswered questions. So, were we created to feed on our energy of suffering? It's a question that's been posed and pondered throughout this video. We've examined the theory, delved into ancient texts, analyzed it from a scientific perspective, and even considered the conspiracy angle. This theory, like many of its kind, is highly speculative, and it's important to remember that. It's a provocative idea that challenges our understanding of existence and suffering. But as with any theory, it needs to be critically analyzed. It's also crucial to keep an open mind, to explore new ideas, but always with a healthy dose of skepticism. Remember, theories are not facts, but they are stepping stones to discovery. They push us to question, to seek, and to understand. And who knows, maybe one day we'll find that the truth about our existence and our suffering is not so far-fetched. In the end, the truth about our existence and suffering may be just as mysterious and complex as the universe itself.